Just back from today's Gippsland Gate Hamfest, so we'll have a look and see what bits I've picked up. First thing is this freebie. I got it early in the Hamfest and it's a model 25M-2. A VHF transceiver. Not sure if it's VHF low band or VHF high band. The label on it is faded and there's some extra bits put on it. A switch and an LED. So I've got no idea whether it's got crystals in or not and whether it's been converted to 6 or 2 meters. We'll have a look at that in a moment. Then we have this circuit board. Having a look at transistors, a 2N3866, good for VHF up to about a watt, and a heftier 2N3553, good as a VHF driver. Then some high power VHF transistors here. Having a look at the fine print, Vin10 Communications products. They were a major manufacturer of two-way radios, used for police, taxi, fire, etc. This was in a freebie box near the end of the Hamfest. What is it? Highway and city with a signal strength meter and volume control. A radar detector. Now got 12 volts. The main item though was this box. $10 with the tub included. You could hardly buy the tub for less on its own. We'll have a look through and see what we can find in it. For a start, there's this really nice metal instrument case. As new, untouched, with the feet inside. Well, these things are pretty much a dime a dozen. A little switch mode power supply, marked with the supply in and out. Whole stack of resistors here. This looks interesting. Wasn't actually in the box that I bought. It was in one of the freebies later on. Soda beams. A power conditioner enclosure kit. Instructions at sodabeams.co.uk downloads. And looks like a printed circuit board and some of the parts. This doesn't look very much, but let's grab a battery and see what happens. Well, it's a rather flat 9-volt battery, but it's giving a voltage reading, 6.22 volts. Definitely a nice little voltmeter for a QRP project. Something else powered by a 9-volt battery. Not much to it, but there is an RF socket. Connect to 9-volt battery, and it looks like a frequency counter. Another display. It's still got its front plastic on. No doubt useful for some project. This is actually working. You can see it. It's a thermometer, 17.3 degrees. This looks like an envelope, but no, it's not. It is a whole heap of inductors. Here's something else. Some nice ceramic trimmers, ideal for RF power amplifier and transmitter circuits. And there's a bit of paper in here. What is that all about? These are silver-plated military-type capacitors. Now here's some printed circuit boards. Hopefully we'll be able to look up the details on the net. But it says here, antenna analyzer, K2ZIA, W8TEE. It appears to be the bare PCB only kit, available via QRP guys. And here's all the information for it. And yep, it looks the same. CTCSS encoder kit. Could be handy for a VHF transmitter project, especially if you're trying to get into a repeater that has gone to tone access. Here's a power supply, quite heavy, which means it's probably quite solidly built. It's 48 volts at 2.5 amps. Could be useful if you're experimenting with FET amplifier projects, where you need quite high voltages to get your full output power. As to how it works, no problems at all. Now this looks interesting. So interesting that it's worth taking it out of the bag. It's got a display, a nice quality circuit board, and I'm not sure if you can read inside, CW decoder version 2.3. It's apparently quite a common model. There's a video from Steve Ellington that tells us what it's about.
They are all over eBay for around $10.
Other bits and pieces, the Champ audio amplifier jcar.com.au, a current model kit using the LM386. Great if you need a bit of audio boost. And also in the tangle is what looks like a GoPro waterproof type thing. Wear it around your head and you can take pictures underwater, or at least in moist environments. Always curious about what's in unmarked boxes. Whole stack of 12-volt relays. Could be handy for some antenna switching project. This looks like a telephone receiver. They make good rocking armature microphones, or you could just connect it up to a crystal set and listen with this. What's this? It's got to be some sort of QRP antenna accessory. Looks like some sort of unun, the sort you'd use with an end-fed wire antenna. Before we get this thing open, let's apply some power and see what happens. Well, something did. Clunk from the relay. Light comes on. Don't know what this does. Not hearing any hiss from the receiver, even though I try and adjust the squelch. When I press the PTT, it does go red. It's half promising. Looks alright inside. Possibly that's a date, 1973. This multimeter lead, because it's been cut down a number of times, is short enough for it to be near enough to record a wavelength on 2 meters. Which is significant, because look at the frequencies of the crystals. 147.25, 147.175, 146.5, looks like 144.7, 144.6 I think, unless it's 146.6. And this one here is a bit hard to find. I think it's 146 something, but anyway, that gives you at the very least a few repeaters and the 146.5 simplex frequency. Let's read this a bit better. 146.225. So these look like receive crystal frequencies. These appear to be transmit crystals. 147.850, 147.775, 146.5, 144.7, 144.6, that's 146.225. Channel 4 is probably the most useful, 146.5. Something came up there, but it soon shut down. Maybe there is a mismatch after all. That shut down may be because of the high VSWR. So we'll do things properly and use a dummy load. And success! We can get this to transmit on 2 meters with the dummy load. And the dummy load is slightly warm, indicating that there is some healthy RF coming out. Well, that's a surprise. That didn't happen before. We've actually got some sound coming out of the speaker.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4.
The long-wave transmission on 252 kilohertz.
VK3YE, good morning Peter, how are you? You're getting into the repeater quite well Peter, but I think probably a bit more voice, content would be good, but if it's just an old AWA car phone, it's certainly, it's cutting the mustard, Peter. Back to you.
From Algeria, chain 3, even now in the middle of their day.
What about this frequency counter? I'm not sure if it goes up to 2 meters, but with the transceiver nearby, we'll do a test. 146.512. It's supposed to be 146.5. Hello. And since it sounds okay through a 146.5 meg receiver, I say the frequency counter is off. Let's now try it with a handheld transceiver that I know is on frequency. Yep, it's the same with this as well. also reading 12 kHz high. I doubt this will work, but let's try 70 centimeters, 439 MHz. Well, it does. Here, it's about 36 kHz off. 36 kHz off on 70 centimeters, 12 kHz off on 2 meters, and I'd guess on 20 meters or 14 MHz, it will be about 1.2 kHz off. I'm not going to give up that easily because there's a little trim pot, which I'll adjust and see if I can get it spot on frequency. I've made a small adjustment and 439.027, so getting closer. We've halved the error, which is a big improvement. Now we've got it to under 10 kHz on 70 centimeters and 3 kHz on 2 meters. If I want it spot on, I suspect I might have to add a little bit of extra capacitance across the trimmer, say 10 picofarads or so. That's our look at our haul from today's Gippsland Gate Hamfest. Definitely well worth going. If there's a Hamfest near you, then try to get along. And you might end up with bargains like these.